Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for the Walking Dead universe. This one's going to be doing another video regarding a statement recently from Melissa McBride confirming that Rick is not the person that came back, and that was revealed to Daryl in episode 5 of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, the Book of Carol. We're going to go over a shocking revelation that has just been revealed via Melissa McBride at the Tribeca Festival. It has now been officially released by fans that there is a quote that Melissa McBride has mentioned about the famous scene that we watched in The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon episode 5, where Daryl communicates with Carol, and of course we get to see them talk about how everything is going, and how everything's going, for them both separately. And she mentions that someone came back, but we don't know who it is. Well, Melissa McBride now officially confirmed that the person that has come back, the person that has returned, is not Rick.
Bullshit!
It is not Rick whatsoever. And we will find out who that person is this season, but it's not Rick. So, man, all right. Now, the other piece of information we have is Norman Reedus recently made a statement talking about how Rick Grimes returning and, of course, having a Daryl and Rick reunion. And Norman had this to say: instead of having a reunion, it would be a lot more interesting if Daryl came upon Rick's grave and didn't meet up with Rick. Instead, he saw Rick's grave and he would break down and be sad and all that kind of stuff. What the fuck are these statements? I mean, seriously. So, what are my thoughts on this? Walking Dead is just getting so weird lately, man. Honestly, like, are we getting a reunion with Rick, or are we not getting a reunion with Rick? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we getting this, or are we not getting this? Like, at this point, it's becoming very tiresome. It really is. And I spoke to a number of you guys yesterday on Instagram, and a few of you guys over on Discord as well, too. And I kind of discussed this a bit more in further detail with some of y'all, and a lot of people are in agreement. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. This reunion should not be this goddamn difficult. I mean, I'm serious. Like, honestly, this reunion is not something that should be, like, an objective to do. Like, have Rick see Daryl, and that be the end of it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that they know for a fact that people want this reunion, and it's the only reason why people are still watching the Walking Dead universe, is to get closure for some of the things that we haven't seen yet. So they're holding this over our heads until eventually they'll do it. I don't know when they'll do it, but it's probably not going to be anytime soon, because if you heard the information from a few days ago, they're already starting to film season 3 of Daryl Dixon, I think, like this week. And they're also planning on doing a season 4 back-to-back. So it's not going to be a while before we see this reunion. It's not going to be for a good few years before we see Rick and Daryl have some kind of reunion, if we get a reunion. But, here's what I'd say about both of these statements. Melissa McBride confirming that it's not Rick that came back. Well, who came back? And why would you even keep it a mystery at this point? Like, I thought the only reason why they would keep it a mystery is because it would be Rick, so they couldn't spoil it until you see Ones Who Live. But now that we find out that Rick is not the person that came back, who the hell would Carol say came back? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it Morgan? Like, that's the other thought I kind of had, because Morgan was, looking for Rick, and he was going to go to Alexandria and stuff. So could it be Morgan? I don't know. I don't really see a point in Carol telling Daryl that Morgan's back. Because Daryl and Morgan were never close. They really did not hang out at all. They never really liked each other. So I'm not sure why Carol would mention that Morgan's back. Could it be Dwight that came back? I mean, I guess it could be. But I mean, again, it's like, I don't know how important that would be to tell Daryl. I mean, I guess it would be. But I don't know. Like, it kind of kills the scene for me. Because the idea of the scene, in my opinion, was the fact that Rick came back. And the part that's funny is that Rick did come back. At the end of The Ones Who Live, Rick came back. And the Daryl Dixon show takes place after the timeline of The Ones Who Live. So there's some kind of something here. I don't know what the hell is going on, but there's something that doesn't add up here. There's something that doesn't make any sense. And in addition to it, Norman Reedus saying that he would prefer if Daryl found Rick's grave instead of finding Rick. That is the biggest load of horse shit I think I've ever heard. I don't know what the hell would make Norman Reedus think that's a good idea, but, no offense to him, I'm sorry. That is a really terrible idea. That would be a really horrible idea, and a horrible path for this to go in. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Walking Dead, as I've mentioned before, and I mentioned this to a few of you guys yesterday on socials, is that I just I'm trying my best to be positive with this franchise. I really am. I'm trying to be positive, but they just keep throwing bullshit towards us. Like, we need Comic-Con. We need some kind of good news, because I gotta tell you, man, ever since Major General Beale died and The Ones Who Live ended, it's just been bad shit after bad shit for Walking Dead. It really has. And there's just no sense of direction anymore. There's a lot of dumb statements that's being said. Now, apparently, Rick isn't back by the timeline of Daryl Dixon, which makes no sense because we know Rick's back. So something's being contradicted somewhere. So I don't know. It's really just up in the air. I really have no idea what else to say about it aside from, they really need to get their act together. They really need to get their shit together and, do this reunion, because people are not going to wait 10, 15 years, to see a Rick and Daryl reunion. We've already waited a long time. So, I don't know. It's really just a crazy scenario right now. Walking Dead, really just not sure what to think about it at the moment, but, it is what it is. Post your comments down below. What do you guys think about all this stuff? What do you guys think about all this information? And do you think that, Melissa McBride saying that it's not Rick that came back? Who do you think is back? Do you think it's Morgan? Do you think it's Dwight? Do you think it's somebody we don't even know? And also, do you think that, potentially, Daryl's going to go back and find Rick dead? I mean, I don't know why Norman Reedus would, bring that up, but it just does not sound like Rick and Daryl's reunion is a priority. I think that's the biggest thing I can take out of this. It just doesn't sound like this is something that they give a shit about, And I honestly I'm getting that message, by these two statements right here. Honestly, I can tell that they don't give a shit. So, I don't know, guys. Post comments down below. Hopefully Walking Dead can give us something cool, something interesting, because at the moment they're not giving us anything cool, and honestly it's getting pretty frustrating. So post comments down below. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, guys, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos of The Walking Dead. Make sure of course to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys, and of course I'll see you guys very soon for more videos of The Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.